In Milwaukee, we have 4 roundtables. The people that are attending, total list keeps growing. We have a semi-annual meeting here, which is exactly what we're doing here. The next one is November 6th at MSOE. I've just introduced you to the servant leader. They're all here. The ones that do Thursdays are all here. In Fond du Lac, they have a monthly roundtable. Green Bay has quarterly meetings, larger meetings like this. Madison is more of a really deep, gorgeous discussion. La Crosse has a conference annually. And Wausau is looking for 1 or 2 more people to join their team. Our website has over 100 videos, vignettes, and talks from the podium that have been captured. They can be used in learning. They can be used make the point in the community presentation. You can use it, little snippets. There's also like 1-minute, 2-minute snippets, all generated from Milwaukee, all Wisconsin folks.
One of the interesting things is what's really powerful. How do you build your culture? How do you pass on servant leadership? You got to tell the stories. So you're not going to go today without thinking about what Peggy had told us about her own story and her own journey. You're not going to think about this wonderful young man who's begun his company and is moving forward with all kinds of vigor. And how about John, who said, "I was adopted, and I knew I've been loved for a lifetime." This is what stays with us as the stories. So remember New Year's Eve and New Year's Day in western Wisconsin was awful cold. My wife and I were in the house together for 2 days. It was a lot of alone time together. I met a woman from Ireland a couple years ago. She said, to her husband when he retired, "I married you for life, not for lunch." We were there together. And what do you do when you're together? Well, you go out for a little ride. So we went out on a ride in La Crosse, went down by the Mississippi River and drove through town. We're on our way outside of town, and I didn't want to go on the highway, so I turned around in the Walmart parking lot. As I'm parked there, a guy rear ends me. My wife looks at me and says, "You got any more good ideas?" Guy jumps out. "Oh, I'm sorry. He says, I'm sorry. Oh, I wasn't paid. He said, don't worry. I got good insurance. And he was just so terribly nervous. I said, "It's okay." I said, "Accidents happen. Listen, I tell you what, I'll just pay for it. You don't have to call the police. We have to call an insurance company. I'm retired. I got plenty of money." I said, "Well, okay." I said, "What's your name?" And I wrote down his name, wrote down his phone number. He said, "What's your name?" I wrote down my name and my phone number. "Okay, go and get an estimate tomorrow morning. I'll call you at noon." We're driving away. My wife said, "How do you know he's going to call you?" I said, "I trust him." So I went and I got an estimate the next day. It's $900. I get home I'm sitting there, noon, the phone rings. "Hello, Tom? Tom, I got your money. I'm in the Kmart parking lot. I don't know where you live, or I'd bring it to your house." I said, "I'll be right there." So I drive down, and he jumps out of his van, and he says, "Here it is. Here it is, $900. Count it if you want it. Count it. Listen, I put an extra 50. Take your wife out for supper." "Oh, I'm sorry for all the inconvenience I caused you." I said, "Accidents happen. As we get older, they're going to happen more often." "Oh, I know." He said, "I'm going to pay more attention." I said, "Well, listen, thank you very much." And he grabbed my hand, and then he grabbed my wrist, and he said, "No, sir, thank you. You trusted me." And as he said that, his eyes welled up, and he cried. He said, "You know how rare that is today? If we want to rebuild America, our neighborhoods, our communities, we need to learn to trust each other." That's what happens here. As you sat at a table with complete strangers, you made yourself publicly vulnerable because our leaders made themselves publicly vulnerable, and it builds trust. This is the good work that Dick Pieper has been doing all of his life. Dick, you don't get thanked enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. I just asked for a story. I will tell you, I get thanks coming out of my ears. I never, ever thought that the feedback you would get in a lifetime is what I'm experiencing the last 10 or 15 years. It's extraordinary. And it's not me. I say I can't take credit. But I have committed to it. Continuing the thanks. Yasmin, where are you? Stand up, Yasmin. This is another lady I want to thank. I was asked to speak at a high school on the south side, and so I went there, and I usually speak to a class, and they filled the whole auditorium, which is a little tough for me because I like to shake everybody's hand and look them in the eye. But I think I made it. When I was finished, there was some teachers around, and we were chatting, and it kind of extended questions and answers. And Yasmin was standing there all that time. And then somebody said, well, Yasmin here has a question for you. So she asked me whatever she asked me, and I responded. And the way she asked it was something special. And I sent her a note, or I called her, and I said, I think you might benefit by having some conversation. My intent was to see how I could coach her, be somebody to go to in this area. This particular high school also is a venue of servant leadership. So we got together. Her mother brought her down. We sat in the office. We chatted. And when we were done, I said, anytime you want to, call me. I'm available to you. And then we left. Then Yasmin wrote me an email and thanked me. Very courteous, literate, good English young lady. And she said, is there something that I can do to serve you? And so I said, I thought about that. I like that. And so I invited her to be at this conference to host. She put some stuff on Facebook, and she gets to get acquainted. She didn't know that high schoolers could go to the sessions we have in Milwaukee. So Yasmin, thank you for your encouragement. It's very rich. Mary Ackerman is the lady behind the scenes. You've all met her. You all think she's wonderful. Hannah is a lady in our office who is archiving first everything in the company. It turns out to be a huge project. It's all going to be on the internet so that people can use our site for research on the evolution of organizations. And we'll have Greenleaf. We'll have our journey in Wisconsin servant leadership, our journey in Wisconsin in character education, and the national organization, and hopefully Greenleaf's papers, which are on some other sites, but the more we can get it out there, the better. So that's what Hannah's doing. So I want to thank all of you, the people that aren't here behind the scenes. This has been delightful. Spread the news. Don't forget about those community wisdom of the group. Drive safely.